Ladies and gentlemen, Siege fans far and wide, prepare yourselves. The Lord of Leans, the peaking prodigy, Siege's chosen son, is calling it quits. Beaulo, the YouTuber turned world champion, is retiring from professional Rainbow Six Siege. I know a lot of you got questions, and thanks to the lovely lad himself, I got answers. I was given a chance to sit down with the boy before his announcement went public and get the full story. So let's get into it. So, yeah, for those that don't know, Jason Beaulo Doty is basically the most famous Siege player alive. And if you ask me, and tons of others, he's also the best. He started uploading insane kill montages onto YouTube back in 2016, and before long, became a certifiable institution of leans, flicks, and all-around impossibly talented orchestrations, revered and replicated by 15-year-olds the world over. By 2019, at the tender age of 18, he entered the big leagues and became one of the only content creators in esports to not only transition into professional play, but trounce it.
I think TSM might overextend through office, and out of nowhere, Beaulo's just in the sight. This might work out for TSM.
Sexy can able to take down two there, but a trade out from Beaulo. Now we stand at a 3v3 in the post-plant scenario. Another one rotating down, but Pauly will get one. Beaulo with 3 on the round now, looking for more. Coming closer and closer as the Jaws music amplifies. But now in the hallway, that's 4 for Beaulo. Will he get the ace, turning the corner?
Give it to him!
Beaulo!
Let's go!
Give him the ace, put it in the montage.
But I'm not going to recount the whole story, because, well, I already did that way back when he first got his start. It's sort of a well-known video. Feel free to check it out. Over the past 3.5 years, he has led TSM to 3 back-to-back top 3/4 finishes at the 6 Invitational, including a win in 2022. So why is it that he's deciding to call it quits? Well, there's a few reasons, but a big one, by his own admission, is that win. In February of 2022, we all got to watch as Beaulo's dreams came true. And it was then, apparently, that he first started contemplating the prospect of retirement.
What else is there really to do, other than just go for repeats and everything? I had a bad stage following up SI 2022, and, that's when it really even hit me too. Maybe I should just, call it quits, but that kind of got shut down. I kept playing and everything, but after SI 2022 is when the first thoughts started happening. And then, I'd say probably about maybe a month and a half ago, it kind of resurfaced and more serious than it ever had been, because after SI 2022, it was more of do I really want this? My performance is down. Maybe this is just an easy way out. But now it's this seems like the right choice regardless.
Of course, it wasn't until this Invitational, which, by the way, he was going to retire after whether or not he won, qualified, etc., that he decided to actually pull the trigger. And a lot of you may be wondering, why? Is he simply following the age-old adage to quit while one is ahead? Well, no. The reasons are a bit more complex than that, the biggest of which shouldn't come as much of a surprise, unfortunately. Put simply, Siege Esports ain't doing so hot. And for a creator of Beaulo's stature, it's just not a super worthwhile time investment anymore.
Just didn't make sense for me. And I don't think I could have lasted another year, because, SI is the time to hang it up. That's the end of the year. And, for everyone involved in the scene, your team, the org, that's when decisions need to be made. And that was just, the time that I think was the best time for my exit, regardless of performance, because obviously, I would have liked to have ended qualifying for SI, defending the title, whether we do good or not, at least just being there. But it didn't work out that way. Failed to qual, lost the grand finals of the quals. But I think that didn't really counteract my decision, just because it needs to happen, just for a brand thing. I just don't think it's really worth it for me at the moment.
And I know that's a really sad thing to say out loud, but you gotta remember, Beaulo did the thing. He lifted Sledge's hammer IRL. And once you do that, even just once, what else is there?
And again, it was just kind of like I fulfilled my dream because, younger, I would always go watch SI. I would see people lift the hammer. SI 2020 was my first event. I had to see the team that beat me lift the hammer, in the stadium, and then I finally got to do it. And it's just like, because that's all it was about, playing good for the year to play good at SI. And then it's like, what's beyond that? Not necessarily like complacency. I didn't have complacency. It was just kind of like, is it the right choice for me to continue?
And once you factor in the overall health of the esports, it kind of seems like a no-brainer.
Player numbers, viewership, whatever it may be, but I think it's still like salvageable. Like it's still able to be kind of, not saved, but enough to, keep it some more healthier than it has been. But I don't know if I can say that about the esports scene, because it's just like, you look at the major like grand final views and everything, it's just it's not what it was. It's not what it was. And I think I would rather just go and pursue more to like the content, like the community of Siege, right? Because even what you were saying was like, I went from high school to pro, like, but even like during high school, I was never full-time content. Like I was still going to high school, I would still scrim, and then I would do, ranked YouTube and streaming. So like, this is going to be the first time where I'm actually just like, I wake up, all I need to focus on is my brand, my community, the people that have built me up, and that's the end of my day. So, I'm excited to kind of just fully commit to one thing instead of, dipping my toes in a, this bucket, this bucket, this bucket. So now it's just, all one goal here.
So yeah, Beaulo is returning to content creation full-time, which is great. Will it be sad to not see him compete anymore? Of course. But as he reiterated to me, that SI win really did change everything for him.
Because it's not about the money. I am, not hard to imagine, but I'm the highest paid Siege player, in professional play, by a good margin. And it definitely isn't about the money, just because like if it was about the money, I would have stopped a long time ago and just focused on content creation, just because that's, that's where the money is. Brand deals, content creation, all that stuff is where the big dollars are made. And I stuck with the game, the esports scene, and I've taken a hit on my content for a while and sacrificed opportunities. I'm not losing money, but sacrificed the opportunity to make more money. But it was definitely about the love of the game, love of the esports, and just the actual competitiveness of the scene. But again, just one SI, the scene isn't in that good of a spot, and now I'm kind of at like a crossroads. It's like, do I want to keep sacrificing my brand, my community that, built me up and got me to this insane level that I'm at right now? Or do I keep kind of, I guess, staying with the sinking ship that is the competitive world of Siege? And again, I don't want it to die. I don't want it to crumble. I'm sure this isn't the best decision for esports health for Siege, if I were to hang it up, but it's just something that kind of needs to happen.
Beaulo has always been very open about how indebted he feels to the community of so-called Believers who turned him into what he is today. Career ambitions aside, returning to content creation full-time will allow him to not only nurture and grow that community, but reward it.
The months leading up to me being announced as a pro player, my content, my community was, in a better word, just kind of neglected, because I had to prioritize things to, propel my pro career. And it took a hit. I didn't feel good about it. My streaming hours were inconsistent. My uploads were inconsistent. It just wasn't that good. Like I wasn't, paying it back to the people that really kind of helped me rise throughout my youth, basically. And so, yeah, the future, I think, is right now just gonna be dreaming, just like a consistent stream schedule. I'm gonna be playing more Siege than I have been. Like, realistically, I'm probably gonna be playing more Siege, like more than my competitive career, like on a day-to-day basis, just because it's like, it's all about content now. I don't have to worry about, 100% performance at all times. I don't have to worry about all the, nuances of competitive play. I can just focus, be myself, hang out, and actually kind of have fun, right? It's like now it's instead of performance, it's about fun. It's about enjoying your time.
What this also means is that the boy is staying with Siege. Rainbow Six will continue to be his bread and butter, both from a casual and competitive standpoint.
I want to commit more to content, just do more. And I think this way I can kind of go back. Like I've already got like the competitive community behind me for Siege content. And I still want to keep that. So I also have like some competitive roots in mind. I'll have, certain stuff catered to that. But at the same time, it's like, I want to go back into the casual side of things, just like, oh, this guy's crazy. You got a 4K with Tachanka one-tapping people or whatever it may be, like stuff like that. Gotta hit up the TikTok, that crazy stuff. But of course, at the end of the day, like, it's not gonna just be like the same thing. Like, it's not gonna be like Bo still on TSM and he's just booting up a stream, but it's just longer. Like, I want it to be different. I want it to be more, like an actual content piece rather than just, some pro player booting up his stream. And I do want to branch out on games.
That said, he can and will try new things, which is super exciting. Just don't ask him to run Valorant. Not his jam, as it turns out.
I tried the Val thing. Val's fun and all. Maybe I'll give it another shot after everything's, in full motion. But recently I was kind of like, I approached like, do I want to play Val as like a second game or CS as a second game? I played Val. Nope. I played CS. I missed this. So I think I'm going to try to play a little bit of CS, again, maybe some Val, maybe some Tarkov or whatever. But I think I definitely want to play another competitive shooter. Obviously Tarkov's not that, but I want to play another competitive shooter to have in my arsenal in the event that Siege doesn't last.
My man. Now you might be wondering, is this an esports retirement or a real one? Like, is he going to come back in 3 months or is he done for good? I too was curious. So I asked him.
Right now, I don't anticipate coming back. I don't necessarily want to. But like at least a year, maybe if somebody, I don't know, like people do it sometimes, like maybe like somebody needs a sub for an event or just like some small thing. Maybe, because like at the end of the day, I want this to be my exit. Like this, I want it to be this. But of course, with everything said about like the reasons why I retire, like if Siege, makes a rebound and it goes back to its thriving game that it once was, and esports is healthy, everything's healthy, and it's the right decision. And of course, it just depends on where I am content-wise, where I am, mentally. Do I think it's going to be a good decision? Maybe. It's a big maybe. But again, I think this is my exit. I don't plan on coming back, but the future has not been written yet, so we'll see.
So, for all intents and purposes, Beaulo's professional Siege career has come to a close. And what a career it was.
I've had such a good storyline. Like you have to admit, like it's been a really good storyline. And the rank star turned up to go pro, turned up to win SI. Obviously, I've only won one SI. I haven't won a major. I've won a minor, regional stuff, like the little mini majors during COVID, and good SI placements, and then finally an SI wins.
This one hits home for me. I have had the privilege, and it is a privilege, of sort of chronicling each and every step of Beau's competitive come-up. He is a lovely human being, an extraordinary competitor, and his story is one of the greatest I've ever had the honor of telling. So to see him hang it up it's emotional. I and many others consider Beaulo to be the most individually talented player ever to touch Siege. He is by no means the GOAT in terms of accolades, but in terms of raw, unadulterated skill, he is a special, singular talent. Here's the thing though. Those who know Beaulo will tell you that he is absurdly, impossibly humble. Like to the point that it's almost infuriating. So when I asked him straight up, humility be damned, where he ranked himself in terms of pound for pound individual greatness, I was sort of surprised at his response.
Like if you put me up against people, and I feel like I proved it. Like when you have the people that you talk about individually, just individually, not like, you know, IGL versus what, it's just individual players. And if I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, and I'm at a good event, you know, I've got a good support system around me. Yeah, I'm gonna win against everybody, right? Like it's just like it's happened. Like again, the people that you talk about, like Shaco, Palu, Nesk, like. There's good battles. There's videos of, you know, our legendary, you know, engagements and everything. And in my mind, yeah, I mean, you know, credit to them. They're sick, but I'm sicker.
I cannot believe that I got him to say that on camera. Like, I agree with him. You have no idea how unlike him it is to gas himself up like that.
You can't really think about Beaulo without thinking of like R6 Esports, and, you know, even on my end, like, forever cemented into my history and my memories, and it's played a huge part in just my life, literally my life. I was anticipating 2018, going pro for years. I finally got there, and it was an absolute blast, winning events, you know, eventually winning SI and doing good at basically every SI. It was phenomenal, and I am extremely grateful for everybody that's been involved, you know, teams, orgs, management, you know, media producers, and YouTube channels that have helped. But I just think it's really time for a different path. And I just think the overall way things have played out for the game, for the esports scene, and just overall all of PC gaming, honestly, I think it just points to this direction where I just need to, you know, step aside, let other people do their thing in the esports side, and I need to go back to content creation and just focus more on the community side of things, because I think that's where the legacy really will stay alive. So it's been a good 3.5 years, and you know, I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years as a full-time content creator, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Hopefully I don't become, you know, a washed up old man.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. I think I speak for the entire community, Bo, when I say thank you for being NA's chosen one, for getting us another hammer, for everything. I am extremely excited to see you back on the content grind, and I can't wait to see what you do next. He's 21 years old. He's 21 years old, and all he talks about in the interview, he's like, yeah, I need like a secondary game. You know what I mean? Like in case like Siege, like, you know, goes under tomorrow, right? He's like, I need like so I started playing Valorant, and I was like, nah. He's like, I started playing CS again. He's like, oh, I missed this. God damn, dude, CS is set. I'm like, I was like, here we go, dude.